You lost a race to your mate at the lights. This is how we solve that issue. You need a big bore kit. Welcome back to EBT Performance Pakenham, the home of Squids Speed Shop. Today, we are doing one of my favourite upgrades. This customer already has a Star 3030 cam installed. He's got a really nice air cleaner, the Screamin Eagle Wedge Extreme, and he's already got slip-ons. They work just fine enough. But the customer wants a little bit more. What does that mean? It means it's time for a big bore kit. If you've got a stage 2, you need a big bore kit. That's where these things are perfect. So we're going to install an S&S 132 cubic inch kit. We're also going to replace the intake manifold. We're going to use the S&S Premium CNC 55mm. It's my favourite for this sort of combination. We're going to increase the injector size. While it's here, it's getting a service. And then I'll be putting it through its paces on the dyno, getting the tune optimised for this combination. I've already had the bike on the dyno to do a preliminary run, just so we have a comparison of where it is now to where it is after I do all the work. That's the important thing, to see A to B difference. After doing the baseline run, I'm not sure whether or not this bike was properly tuned or if it just had a base map put in it at the dealership. The curve of the graph just did not seem right to me. It's not what I would expect from this combination, and it probably had a little bit left on the table. That's trying to be as fair as I can to what this is. So nevertheless, I'm excited. This is one of my favourite upgrades to do, and I think it's really important you see it. If you guys are on the fence, your bike's currently got a cam in it, it's working well, but you want a bit more, you lost a race to your mate at the lights, this is how we solve that issue. What do you want to see in more detail with these builds? Let me know in the comments and I'll put it together. Let's get after it. Alright guys, motor's all torn down. I've checked the piston to bore clearance on the S&S 132 kit. I've got to do the piston ring clearances, set that all up, and then I'll start putting it all together, finish off the service, and then it's dyno time. It's really important when you're doing these multi-layer head gaskets that you torque them to spec and then let them sit 10-15 minutes and then redo the final torque. Stated is what S&S have stated. Really important because it can settle and just shift just a little bit. This isn't like the stock Harley stuff where you go to a torque setting and then you wind it on an extra 90 degrees. This is set to torque with the multi-layer head gasket. Sorry guys, my cameraman was taking a nap. Where we're at the minute is I've gone around and I've checked the torque again on the heads. I've cleaned everything up. I've chased all the threads, get the Loctite out. I've put new O-rings for the pushrod tubes. They're in. The new gaskets for these lower rocker boxes are on. And I've also assembled up the S&S Premium 55mm intake. So now I'm going to start putting the rest of it together, finish off the service. How much power is this bike going to make? Put it in the comments. would have seen in that last bit of time-lapse footage me installing the sensor blocks. Why is that important? Well, I've found over the last 10 or 12 years that sampling the exhaust gas up here in the header with the sampling blocks is way more accurate than the old method of shoving a sniffer tube up the exhaust pipe and trying to sample the gas. For a couple of reasons. One, by the time the exhaust gas gets through the sniffer pipe to the sensor block in the dyno, there's a time delay, and so what's happening in the exhaust pipe doesn't match the RPM signal correctly. The other major flaw is they're prone to sooting up, and you don't know how accurate they are at any given point in time unless you're cleaning them every single session. And nobody's got time for that. So I can't be bothered with it. 10 or 12 years ago, I started using these sample blocks, and I've never looked back. I don't have a problem with accuracy. My data's always lined up. The only thing that ever fails is an O2 sensor. That happens all the time. That's not a worry in the world. I keep a bunch in stock and I just swap them out when they die. But I don't have the problem with getting inaccurate data, which is what I found with the sniffer, which is the long tube stuffed up the exhaust pipe. It's just a really old tech way of doing it, and there's better technology out there, and so that's what I use. I'm going to finish up the service on this, and then we'll get it on the dyno. Big day on the dyno today. This bike was tuned using Power Vision. After some more research, some looking into some things, this bike had definitely been dyno tuned before, and the graph that was supplied with the bike was definitely looked nice. So the map had shifted a little bit since then. So I don't want to bag anybody out or go down that route. When the bike was built, the graph looked good, lines look clean, as opposed to the lines from my base map, which look pretty average. There was a couple of things in the map in the bike that weren't quite right. With Power Vision, it gives you this great ability to time the air pulses in the intake manifold based on what cam you're using. That's like my favorite feature for the Power Vision. This sort of separates it from other softwares. Look, it makes maybe 1% difference, but I still like that the feature's there. So after a bunch of tuning, back and forth, getting the timing right, getting the fuel optimized, we end up with 135 horsepower and 141 foot-pound of torque. So this combination is the Star Racing 3030. It's the S&S 55mm CNC manifold. It's running the S&S 132 cubic inch big bore kit. It has the Screamin Eagle Wedge Extreme air cleaner, and it has S&S slip-ons. That's pretty stout. To compare it to what it was before it came in, I'll bring that up. It'll just take me a second. Okay, so got the two maps brought up. So blue being the baseline of when it came in before I added the big bore kit. Red is after I've finished tuning it. And right there you can see we've picked up 21 horsepower and 28 foot-pound of torque. and this just picked up the torque everywhere. This is one of my favorite mods to do. There's a ton of M8s kicking around with some form of bolt-in cam. I don't care which cam you've got. If you're starting to feel like it doesn't have the aggression it once had, come on in, we'll put a big bore kit in it. We'll make sure it's got a throttle body that can handle what it's doing. Bang for buck, it's a really great upgrade. And for me, the power level that this bike has now that's a perfect daily rider. That is where, if I didn't have this speed shop, I would have sent my bike. You know, a 475, a big bore kit, big throttle body, happy days. This bike's going to go like a cut cat. He is going to shock a ton of people at the lights. Because, what have we got? This is a gentleman's cruiser, yet it goes like the clappers. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that's food for thought for you. Yeah, they go good with a cam in them, but they go a hell of a lot better with a big bore. So guys, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. I love going back and forth with people in the comment section. It's a nice way to wind down after work. Check out the website, check out my social media. I'll put a bunch of little clips up on there. Just something to keep the week going for you. So until next week, Uru.